Okay. Yeah. Don't worry. Okay. Yeah. Okay. 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 Go ahead.
Mine.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the final run of the evening. We have Mageius here doing, what's it called again?
Robotech.
Robotech Battlecry. That's right.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mageius. Take it away.
Sorry for the hold up. All my GameCube decided to die. Well, not die, but just had problems. So I had to switch to the PS2 version. Hopefully, the load times aren't as bad as it's gonna feel, but it is what it is, and I'll do the best I can. But adjusting from one version to the other. Anyway, time will start as soon as I hit this X button here to start the first mission. So I'll give a countdown of 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Let's skip over the first cutscene. Come on, game. So right now we're playing as Jack Archer, who well, the best way to describe it is that we are defending Macross Island right now. I forgot they actually into that. Anyway, we're defending skies at Macross Island here, which is it's 10 years after the end of a global war that rocked humanity. The war ended in a single night, thanks to humanity realizing they were not the only species in the galaxy. So we're defending, as I said, we're defending, Macross Island here. Alongside our old war buddy, Roy Foker. Shoutouts to the Macross fans out there. You know who I'm talking about. Anyway. This is the closest enemy. Swap there, swap there. Anyway, it'll give me a bit to start explaining some of the cool tech because adjusting it to PS2. But you'll see here our Veritech, or Valkyrie, for those Macross fans out there. Actually, using the controller on it. But again, we're going to take out the enemies here. As I said, defending Macross Island. And what we're doing here is just, taking out these enemies as fast as possible. Nothing too fancy, nothing crazy right now. I'm going to try to do the best I can, chat, but having to suddenly switch from one version of the game to the other because of a system dying. I mean, I've got the skills to do it, it's just a pain. Anyway, we're going to take out the enemies here and defend the island. So from here, essentially, we're just killing all the enemies. Well, basically, the way the war ended, to get back to the story, was essentially alien ship crash landed. Earth decided called a ceasefire, to help study it. And it's been 10 years since that day. Essentially, this is the day when the alien ship that crash landed was supposed to launch. And we got this Imprati here, which they showed up, wanting their ship back. So we're going to take that there. Swap over here. You'll see me swapping a lot between the fighter and between both fighter and the Battlecry version. This is more along the lines of because the way the actual modes line up is essentially the Battlecry version, you know, is the only one that can turn around, while the oh god, I am so far behind in my own time. It'll hopefully pick up once I get to certain points. It's taking me a minute to get used to PS2 stuff. Anyway, after this, you'll see me use, I'll talk more about some of the tech, though, in a little bit. But in short, we'll be swapping back and forth between enemies. You'll see me swap, using each of the 3 modes a decent amount. See me strafing here and there, each reveals target. Take that out. The reason why you'll see me do stuff like that is so I can, keep targeting on enemies. You'll see me here using Battlecry, which has the best auto-targeting, but it's got the best as far as auto-targeting goes, but it's the slowest of the 3 versus Fighter, which is the fastest on that one. Anyway, hold on a minute. Gotta swap to this.
Remember, Macross City wasn't made to accommodate anything the size of a Veritech, so you're going to run out of room pretty fast. You new pilots should stick to Battloid mode until you develop your skills.
Space there. Now, ideally, we want to try to stay in Fighter as much as possible. Well, the hardest part is going to be the fact that I normally am used to being able to strafe with L and R, and they moved that to R2 and L2. But ideally for this, we've got it now, we're on the ground, and we've got to just basically save the island and protect it. So give me a second. Come on now, where are you? There you are. I know I'm making this look horrible right now, but PS2 version versus GameCube.
To do that.
Come on. Let's go. So there we go. Anyway, basically what we'll be trying to do for here is to maintain contact with the enemy while we're trying to stay. Essentially, we want to try to stay in Fighter whatever we can if we're going from point A to point B. Use our missiles as fast as possible.
Time to take these guys to scoop.
Now. Rate of fire is slightly different. But you'll see me actually swapping between stuff like that here and there. Come on, you. Thank you, game. Strafing here and there and everywhere. You'll see me target lock on and using what I can. So put that up there, swap it there, fire missiles. You'll start to see me you'll start seeing me do some interesting tech with the modes that I've got access to. I look horrible right now.
Looks like you've got this area
You'll have
under
to
control,
swap
Wolf
versions
10.
on the fly.
There's a group of destroids
But
requesting backup in Zone 214. Head over give them support.
Ideally, we want to use the boost to get over to where we need to go as fast as possible.
Enemy battle pods approaching.
Over here, strafe here.
Wolf 10, get back to your position.
No, Lisa. Strafe here and there. There.
That's right. Jack the Giant Killer.
Those, big strafes there. We want to basically, for now, just use what we have access to get rid of the enemies as fast as possible, because we really don't have access to anything too fancy right now. It's still early on in the game. And those destroids do not know how to protect themselves. To the point of the fact that the game even goes out of its way to, if you get too far away from an ally that needs protecting, it will legitimately just spawn in enemies right next to them, or reduce their health to almost nothing. Yes, the game is unfair like that. So, we're moving, we're multi-targeting. And that there, turning around, swapping to Guardian here. Taking them out. Finishing the mission there. Bursting Point is essentially a true auto-scroller, so I can finally now start talking about some of the crazy tech in the run. And again, I'm sorry, all. I'm just switching one version to the other. Anyway, we have to protect the, not cross, the F1 over here. It's not going to turn around to show you it. Right over there, you see there? We have to protect that, which means just taking out as many enemies as we can, as fast as we can. So we're just going to hang out here, take out as much as possible. There was really no way to speed up this chapter, trust me, I have tried. Anyway, there are a handful of things I will talk about now, with the several different abilities of the Robotech / Battlecry. First and foremost, for fighter, these all have a secondary, thing. For fighters, it's decoys, but those take up the missiles, but they do help draw away missiles. You'll see me use them here and there. With Battlecry here, the secondary fire helps destroy missiles, which is very useful. And as for Guardian here, you can pick things up with it. Not that useful, but is used in some parts of the run. Now, you'll see me, switching back and forth while staying in Battlecry. That is because Battlecry, as I said earlier, has the best auto-targeting on that one. But that also, it's a positive there, because although we're slow on that one, it's also the only mode that can go backwards. So being able to fly backwards is very useful. By the way, say hi to Izzy, one of Jack's friends. Story-wise, the SDF-1 managed to escape, but it had to basically do a hyperspace fold. So essentially, it took most of the island with it. It's been about a year since that happened on Earth. So essentially, they got back. Our friend Roy passed away during that one, so Jack is attending his funeral. When the Society who have been following them decided to attack again. As I said, I'm doing the best I can with that one. Just at the game, just be nice to me. There's other swap versions. As I said, we just have to them out, just hold off, because we have to wait for like 5-ish minutes for the area to overload anyway. Unless there's something different with the PS2 version that allows us to save time. Which I don't think so. It's like, yes, I have even tried just helping destroy the barrier, but it doesn't work. So we're just going to hang out here, hold off, and just wait for the end of the mission. There's enough fighters, I believe, to allow the game to let us go. The reason why we have to do that is because the game will, if we do nothing, the barrier will still be destroyed, but we will automatically fail the mission. Doing and helping actually means we will be able to complete the mission.
Back when you have some skills.
Come on, game. I just feel like I legitimately do less damage in this game. It just legitimately feels like I am not powering as fast as I would be. That's what I'm used to for the speed of GameCube version. As I said, just gotta wait around and just wait for the barrier to get destroyed. Dear God, I am very far behind.
The omnidirectional
Good,
barrier system
finally.
is overloading.
As I said, normally used to playing on the GameCube version, but if you know what you're doing, any version is good enough. There we go. So the Omniverse app basically blew up. On to the final mission of Chapter 1, which is essentially Force of Arms. It's based off the episode from the show. That one. It's slightly different from the show as Jack over here. You'd think it's a one-off, but he actually did appear in the comics, I believe.
Take these guys to scoop.
So
Oh, you want some too?
we want to destroy these turrets here because this is also our first boss fight. So we want to destroy these so that way we don't have to deal with them as much, especially during that. It also spawns in the next set of enemies a bit faster. So we want to keep swapping between the two. You, go please. Thank you. Not you. Again, for this one, you want to just try to balance it out and just make sure that we get enough enemies to spawn the boss before we can continue onward. This one, it's more about enemy kill count versus numbers killed. Let me rephrase that. Enemies killed versus time elapsed. Essentially, at present, we want to make sure to keep our health good before the boss, while getting rid of the enemies as fast as possible. So we want to push them here, goes there. As I said, we want to basically prevent ourselves from dying. I'm sorry if I'm being quiet at all. It's just, I'm still annoyed with the fact that I had to switch over to the PS2 version. More along the lines of my GameCube on that one. So it is just... So do forgive me for that one. But it's trying to compensate from, getting the differences real quick on that one. Because, as I said, having to switch versions on the fly. Come on, hurry up. God, is that even not going to happen? Yeah, the RG manipulation should work later on. It should on that one. That is what's a lot of attack. Let's go. gotta dance back and forth like that. Try to take them out. Set up missiles. You want to try to get enemies as get them as they're flying by. Because if they're flying right by us, that means, you know, it doesn't take as long to deal, you know, damage to that one. Or our first boss is finally here. We want to get in close. That one, targeting, dodging their missiles every now and then, firing our actual first use of our secondary file of Battlecry, taking out missiles so we don't have to deal with them. We want to use Battlecry to be able to stay in place while we take out, while we deal damage. We don't have to kill her, we just have to deal enough damage. Use that. Again. Straight to help with the damage, quickly matching out of the fact of getting rid of the missiles. Next, we want to get strafe on that one, so we can essentially set up some extra damage, getting rid of the missiles. Oh, please tell me, not screwing this up that badly. Oh my god, am I actually screwing up this badly? Yeah. Wow. Oh god. I look horrible. And now I've got to get back to the boss. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm going crazy. This game and my game... I'm going to do the best I can, but damn it all. Why the hell did this have to happen? Why the hell did this have to happen? And it feels like it runs really slow. PS2 version, I think. Come on now. Again, I'm sorry all, but it's just a pain on that one. I really never... That's why I stick with the GameCube version. There. Luckily, just give me a... It's not going to be a good time, but it's going to be better than it could be. At least for all of you. And I can just see your Discord going like, Frank, what the hell are you doing? Which I'm going to reply, PS2 version. Straight there. You gotta do that. Now, again, just want to take out the enemies as fast as possible here. Take out the closest enemy. And again, just want to take them out as fast as possible. Again, we want to basically make sure that we don't have to deal with as many enemies around while we are fighting the boss. Straight, come on. Thank you. So we want to do that there. Lock in closely to them. Just take them out. Straight on that one to get rid of them. So do that there, take them out. that there. Strafe some there. Target the next enemy. Strafe around there. Take out the fighter pods, because again, they can launch missiles at us, and we need to get to the boss as fast as possible. Again, there we go. Boss is here. Where are you? There you are. So we want to head close to the boss. Again. Start strafing on that one, taking out the missile. On that one. As we get close, we want to turn back into fighter, into Battlecry, to be able to quickly strafe a bit more, and also to be able to get rid of the missile that fires. Again, we want to just keep going close. Keep strafing on that one. As we turn around, we want to quickly shift to fighter to launch missiles on that one while turning, so that way they are launched sooner. Because the faster we get launched, the faster we get our they reload. Want to do that there, turn like that. Fire another set of missiles so that he's hit while turning. That there, not that there, fire straight at her, that one there, fire that there, get rid of some more of the missiles, turn there, fire there, swap that there and there and there, fire there, fire some more missiles, get rid of the missiles that's firing at us, turn again, fire, fire, do again. Down our missiles in that one. Fire directly at her. Use the fact that we're close to her to help with putting out damage on that one. And we're through chapter 1. Far behind, but hell, I'm annoyed with myself, but eh. So I'll do the best I can to entertain y'all. Okay, so now Ambush Hills. After the Force of Arms, we've had, you know, the
Why do they call it
well,
Ambush Hills again? Commander?
Do you really want me to spell it out for you?
There's one of the munitions
we need
crates.
to actually take out some actual munitions here. Come on now. Come on. So we're used to actually
Time to take
on that
these
one.
guys to scope.
Sorry, I'm having to improvise a bit on the fly. Come on now. I have to take out these containers. Used to actually having the X and Y being near each other for GameCube, but again, I'm doing what I can do, and I'm gonna make it look good on that one. So we want to fly over here. Anyway, we have to take out these actual supply depots from the enemy. We want to use the missiles on that one to help with taking them out faster. We really don't need to worry about anything else. Come on, you. There we go for that there. We don't really have to worry about anything else with that one. We want to stay far away from them, though, because the whole fact is that... Hold on a minute. Health. So normally I would be doing this a lot faster. But we want to do that to basically get rid of things fast as anything. Yeah. Because the targets are so small, it's easier to just do that with the sniper rifle than anything else. You don't want to get too close because of the whole fact that they explode and will hurt us. As I said, just trying to remember the difference with that one. Gabe, you're killing me. Also, this is the only weapon where you really charge a weapon up. Please tell me if I can remember where to go. Differences in that one. There's that one there. God, I'm looking horrible right now. I am looking horrible right now. But got that one, got that one. It's this way over here. It's that way there. Not there. Got this one. Sorry, y'all. It's trying to remember the mental map in my head on that one to where we need to go. Got this one there. Okay, so if I'm there, then it's this way. It's this one. Down here, up here, around here. All correctly. No. Went to this one already. Oh my god, I'm looking horrible! Horrible! I swear I know what I'm doing! I swear it! So got this one here. Try to remember it all. Hills. I hate hills. This game. Just... They... Ah, there we go. Ah, there we go. I knew I was missing it somewhere. Come on, I'm so used to actually doing that with the controller. There's no real way to actually see how the enemy just fell there. That's sort of why we do not stand close as anything to that one. And I really am sorry, y'all. I'm really sorry. But now we're on to Trouble in Greystone, where we have to actually defend the city Greystone here. Getting close, use our missiles there, hover a bit. While flying towards the enemy, we want to actually hold in our missiles. Keep going until we can find the nearest enemy, because we have to protect the Civic Center here. Fun fact, if we don't... Fun fact, even if we would just destroy the city to help with making things easier, the game will still count that as enough damage to cause us to lose. Wait here, hover there, use the Guardian here to actually hover to help with taking out the enemy. Back there, turn there, use our missiles there, escape a little here, fly there, turn there. You can afford to get rid of some of the buildings, but not as many as you'd like. Not as many as I would like to be able to do that with there. Yep, that. You out. That's why you'll see me use missiles sparingly in here. Okay. Oh, by the way, say hi to our community officer, Chase. Come on. Come on now.
What are you doing?
Oh, God. I am really screwing this up horribly. Take you out. Where are you? I have to be close on that one. Yep, because I destroyed too much buildings. I'm sorry, y'all. It's just going from how a GameCube's actual face button setup is, considering that they kept these stuff certain button binds. So I'm doing the best I can to, in essence, adapt from one version to the other on the fly. Right over here. Missiles here. Turn here. Do this there. I have to hit the wall because it's going to legitimately turn us back into the battle area. Straight here, there, there. Turn into there. Hold our missiles so that way while we're moving towards them, we will deal out a lot of damage on top of that. Go here, there, go to here. I would normally fire out some heavier missiles here, but come on, stop getting caught in a building.
Stay focused, Wolf 10.
Come on. There we go for that one there. We want to fly towards the missile. Towards the actual missile pods. Cover here so we can take them out. Take that out there. That there. Fly over here. Take them out. Multi-target. Take you out. Use our missiles to help with that speed up the process. Cover again. Straight there. It goes out there.
Next time, try aiming.
Yes, Jack.
Great job, Wolf 10.
Okay,
Looks
good.
like they're breaking off the attack. Move in and kick the rest of them out of town.
Sorry, all if I'm being a little conservative right now. For this, it's just there are some slight differences to the games.
All right. Oops.
That's
There
the
we
last-
go. Oh my god. I don't even want to know how far behind I am. I don't even want to know. But I am just curious enough to see that. And I just don't. This is why I run the PS. This is why I
Just in
play the
time.
Cube version.
The guys stationed out here live right on the frontier.
Want to fly ahead, we have to protect the sea sergeants on that one to get to the actual
Just make sure
base
we
here.
get there to deliver it.
So this is essentially a sort of glorified auto-scroller, so we'll just be defending them as fast as possible.
We're taking damage.
My god, I never knew how good a game controller would feel with this type of a game before this. Because actually having the ability to use the thumb for multiple inputs is very good. Like boosting and
Next time, try aiming.
firing missiles at the same time.
Want some too?
Just having to hold X, having to shift X to set up stuff while holding circle at the same time is up to me. So we'll fly over here, move towards here, wait around here for the next set of enemies to spawn. Just gonna hover, see how horrible I'm doing, because I can, because I really don't even. It's one of those things like. Ew!
We're under
That
heavy
bad.
fire.
I should be finished this chapter by now already. Okay. So we're gonna fire at all those. around there. Take out this enemy because they're getting close to us on that one.
Can't take much more of this.
There we go for that there. Come on. Come on. Come on now. Where are you? If you notice how that's still there, that is one of the visual glitches that the PS2 version is known for. And it's known for a lot of them. Now we're gonna fly ahead, get to the base early. What the heck, the game does not have any problems with that there. I'm gonna turn with the Guardian over a bit with that one, because we just have to get them to the base right now. Yeah, the PS2 version, this game. And no, this is not a good thing for the game. This is just part of how it is. The PS2 version. Come on. Basically what they're trying to say right now is it's too hot for us right here. We're trying to get out of here. And Jack has basically said, okay, I will wait here and protect these asteroids. That's essentially the conversation that's going on because the game decided to have some audio problems. Don't worry, it's a known issue.
We're getting out of here. We'll
So
try to
now we
swing
want to
back
hover
later
here.
after things settle down.
Get as many enemies as we can. Oh, so say hi to Hero. He's a friend of ours that we'll be seeing a bit, you know, here and there. We want to hit the enemy behind here. So quickly there. I'm almost actually wondering if the GameCube version actually has more glitches than the PS2 version now. So anyway, we defended that one. They sent us off to get some supplies, so we're going to fly here. Fly here, launch our missiles here, turn Battlecry, because it's easier to make sure that we do get the pickup here. This is the first example of us actually picking up something with the Guardian mode. Now, the nice thing is if we run into anything, we don't transform back because we're carrying something. So next we want to drop this off here. So used to actually having different positions on a controller, but anyway, we're going to keep boosting our way to the next one. Hover close, grab that, shift this way. Said it's going to be a tiny bit before I catch up with how I usually am. To be fair, going from the GameCube version to this, it's not an utter monstrosity. It is not an utter monstrosity. There we go for that there. That there, swap over to here. Try not to fly too high because the game on that one. We want to go over here, turn this way, turn like that, launch our missiles because we don't really need to take out enemies, but it's just faster to do that than it is to stand still. It's faster to do that than to actually have to take the fire, and also because we have extra missiles. So we're going to fly back to the base. Then they'll ask us to rescue a down comrade, down friend of theirs. So we'll be turning around and getting that there, dropping that off there.
Got another job for you.
Quickly turn like
One of our
that. There,
Tomahawk
turn
pilots
there.
just radioed that he's trapped out there in the hills somewhere.
keep boosting on that one. As I said, anytime we need to go any place, we will be using the fighter boat. We want to keep holding boosted and firing our missiles on that one. We have to take out these enemies before the actual
Time to take these guys
person we have to rescue gets out. Just the grab. There we go. It's a lot harder to boost in and grab than it looks, as you can see there. Anyway, we need to fly back. The base is under attack again on that one. Hero is basically telling us get our asses back there as fast as possible. So what we're going to do is, as boosting in, we're going to hold as many targets as we can. Drop them down. Drop the actual person we had to rescue off. Use Guardian Wave to hover. Up here, do that there. Straight quickly. We target over the next set of enemies. We need to take them out. Straight there, and we've got all that taken care of. So, I want to guess, as the mission briefing says about airspace and that kind of stuff like that. So, this is essentially a one versus every enemy that is here type mission.
I haven't seen this many of them since the war. I don't know what they're up to out here. It's too dangerous to let them all escape.
Roger that.
So we're going to do that there. Switch to the nearest enemy. Switch to the nearest enemy. Shoot that there, shoot that there. Swap the target there. Swap it there. Swap to that there, fire there. Head towards them directly. Fire that there. Fire that there because we're the closest ones. This is why we want to keep up the fact of the closest enemies, because of the fact of they will run right into our missiles, so therefore we really don't have to worry as much about them dodging them. And again, shifting like that there, flying right at me, so it's the whole fact of they're flying right at us. It's you can hit them without having to worry about anything, and it's harder for them to dodge. Do that there, follow that there. Do that right there. As it's turning for this one, stay right there. Shift to that. Shift to that one there. Fire there. Sorry all if it's not the best commentary, but at the same point, I'm still readjusting to the controls from GameCube to PS2. Because GameCube controller setup versus PS2 controller setup does matter. Straight there, straight there, straight there, straight there. Follow those there. Straight there. Straight there, fire those there. Fire that there, straight again, go to that one, there, that, fire there. And there's one left. There's this one left, just fire as many missiles as we need to. Keep going. Dark skies. Essentially, for this mission here, we just gotta destroy the Zetrati ship that appears on that one. Oh, oops. That's too fast on that one. Essentially, we don't have to worry about anything else but the ship. Like, I'm so used to just being able to use this little button regularly without that. gotta hover here. Make sure the game does not target us to the enemy ships because they don't matter at all. Swap that there, do that there. Fly back over here so we'll get out of the ships thing so we can go around for a boost straight to them. And we're done on that one. Not the cleanest of it, but come on. GameCube controller mashing A. Where A is a circle and not the correct thing. I'm doing what I can. Anyway, we have to rescue some down people right now. So we want to put this straight here and there and there. Use your Guardian mode to help with picking up these enemies. You have to get rid of them before the next enemies to spawn. The next set to spawn in the next area. They come in from the mud in that one. And then take care of that one, hover here, fire some missiles there. There's a few bits of tech I have yet to explain, like how the fact that our missiles, when hitting enemies in groups, will actually take out, will deal some splash damage, but it's finicky more along the lines of just like you try figuring out the exact spots and timing to fire every missile like that to optimize that. So say hi to the first scout pod. We need to get rid of those to be able to pick up the enemy, pick up the people we need to rescue. So do that there. Fire that there. Transform to there. Cover there. Get rid of that. There, now we can see where they all are. We gotta turn into fight. Get the Guardian, pick them up. Go drop them back off. Now, we will be getting 2 of the 3. The third one, we will not be taking them directly back, as we have one more section to go through there, because Chase orders us, once we've dropped them all off, to, hey, go check out the rest of the city. So, because of that, we're going to actually take the last one on a sightseeing trip with us, to be able to actually use our missiles effectively on them. Used to that being there, so used to having X and Y be where L1 and R1 are on a PS2 controller. Well, not so much where, but just like what we used to. These enemies here we can ignore completely because they actually are not a threat, and we can beat, and we don't really have to care about them. So hover up high here, fly over here, try not to transform. Realize we're going a bit too fast, a bit too far. Come on, now please game. Thank you. Come on. I'm looking horrible here. So we want to transform into here. Grab here. Before heading back, we want to go ahead here. We want to fire our missiles here. That way we can get some damage in before there. Now, we couldn't just go ahead and take out the enemies there because the whole fact is some of them won't spawn, and because of the scout pod, they will not, we would not be able to pick up the people we need to rescue.
Alright, we're sending out a chopper to pick them up. Proceed into the city and clear out the remaining Zentradi.
Here. Stop there, stop there, stop there. Stop those there. Got them. Take that out. Fly ahead. Auto target that one. Fire pieces there. Scraping. Take out the last one there. Now we'll head forward to the last scout pod. Take that out, and there's this. I'm sorry if I'm not explaining a lot as much as I could. It's the mind, plus trying to get difference, plus everything else like that, plus the early part of the run. Anyway, Knife's Edge, our second boss fight, we have to track down and take out a command officer on that one. So this is the first time we get to see some very interesting tech.
There's a town not far from here. That guy can do a lot of damage if I let him get
Like
away.
that, like that, like that. Strafe a bit. Fire missiles there, like that, line up. And let's see if I can manage to get the tech one just to control it. I can. So one of the nice things about this game is its the way it detects collision. The hardest part is going to be the fact that I can't really boost at the same time.
Hey, that's great. A 50-foot ninja.
I'm going to be conservative here. Listen. Attempt to do the marathon safe stuff. Or at least protect myself on that one. Always punished. Always punished for trying to be safe on that one. Always punished. Yeah, this is one of those times where it's like, so you want to play marathon safe? No. And I don't mean that negatively. I mean that more along the lines of just like, it's amusing that the best way to be marathon safe here is to essentially YOLO it. So we want to do that there. Do that there. Get close to that there. Turn there. Get stuck on him there. Loop around that one. Immediately turn and boost.
I lost him. Hey, that's great.
Fire that there. Turn around there. Turn there again. That there. Come on now.
Why am I wasting my time?
There we go for that one. Now, good. There.
Lost him again.
We'll be over here.
Come on out,
Avoid
Scar.
that.
No need to be afraid of a crony.
Your skills are commendable, but they will not save you in the end.
Ah, for the love of... Ah. Not being able to legitimately
Perhaps if you had
use
a-
a three-thing GameCube. I will gladly show this off next time I got a chance. But being able to legitimately press the A button, the B button, and the X button and Y button almost simultaneously
That guy can
really
do a
does give
lot
you
of
some more
damage
tech.
if I let him get away. That's a good thing. But hey, nobody would like this slow.
But you want to be able to do something like that to get rid of the enemy fast enough. Avoid these.
I lost him. Hey, that's great. A 50-foot ninja.
There we go. There we go.
Lost him again. Come on out, Scarred. No need to be afraid of a crony. Where'd he go? Lost him. Hey,
And
that's
on the PS2 controller, this is really a pain.
Any fool can survive.
Because we have to adjust it here, then now mash both of these as fast as possible to deal direct damage on that one without having to avoid it. And there's our second boss fight done. Now you may wonder, Mage, why are you actually backing out? That's because we've unlocked our second and a lot better Veritech. the 1J. We want this one because it's faster, more damage. And if you see here, I would normally be able to 3-button these things with a GameCube controller, with both missiles boost and that. It makes it a lot more easier to essentially boost and rapid fire missiles at the same time. Anyway, we now have extra speed. We have cost us a little bit of health, but we use the extra speed with the extra missiles. Right now I can finally start showcasing a lot more stuff. Now that I'm a bit more agile. This. Fire missiles here. Run really doesn't start until we get the 1J. Back there. Get you out. You out, start strafing. This gives us a lot more options like legitimately sliding. And a lot of other little things because of back in game momentum. Turn here, there's that. Spawn and die. Start doing some strafing. Here and there, backwards there. Return so we can fire some missiles. Because the thing is that the fighter has heavy missiles. Because of this, you want to be using fighter's missiles whenever possible instead of the Guardian / fighter missiles. Because dealing heavy missile fire, gets rid of the enemies faster. However, they are a bit less maneuverable. The Guardian's lighter missiles are faster to hit to a target, but they don't deal as much damage. As you can see here, that's why we sort of want to use the fighter as fast as much as possible. But as they said, we need to protect this factory on that one. So taking out those. The nice thing is that with this one, we'll know when we're done, because the last set of enemies, because there won't be any spawning enemies up on the hill. So we want to slide here, do that there, because I know for a fact there's no enemies spawning there. Okay. Ah. They re-changed the order in this version. No. Missed one. Missed one set. It happens. Miscounted. There we go. Avoid that. Cover there.
Well done, Wolf 10. Check your objectives.
Slide. Transform like that. Use the pieces there. That there. Back of Battlecry auto targeting, so I don't have to line up perfectly. Turn over here, try not to hit the ground. Slide here. Do some fancy footwork, basically. Auto target. Fire sensors there. We now have to protect the sort of bridgehead here. So we want to multi-target here. Fly a bit closer. Set up the Guardian here and just legitimately just hang out here and just fire missiles when we can and just let the destroids just do their job as soon as they show up. Hover here again, sweep again. And as I said, just hover, hang out, just take out the enemies as they come towards us.
Looks like it's gonna be a busy day.
Sorry. Turned to grab a drink for later on. Sabotage. This mission's a pain in the ass. We have to take out all the lasers and missiles on the start of the enemy ship, which is faced directly at us at our spawning point. So we're gonna hover here. Start here. Avoid that there. Over there. Use Guardian over there. That there. I'm going to avoid getting targeted out like that.
That's right. Jack the Giant Killer. Got it.
Ah! I'm trying. But considering I had to switch from the GameCube version to the PS2 version before the run, I'm holding up best I can. Come on now. Swap that there, that there, that there. Play conservatively on that one. I got about a damage. I have less maneuverability thanks to the control speed. PS2. Let me face it, I still have the controls, still have the stuff, but just not as many hits to put it where I would up to. So we go before that side, just so I can be careful. And then spawn behind us, we swap those there, that there, that there, that there. I think I got all of the ship stuff. Quick sweep in there and there and there. Now it should be good. Swap target there. Swap there. Behind us, swap like this, do it this way. Try not to fall on the ground. There's there. There's that there. Keep turning on that one. That there. Reach wild target. That one there, and we should be there. Oh god, I'm approaching one of the worst missions in the game. After this mission, dear god, in a few minutes, called Arms, we essentially have to protect a factory on that one. And this is literally one of the only missions where we actually have a full-blown,
Don't worry. I'll protect the
actual,
armory.
sort of
Try to stay clear of the
doing
fight.
the mission, doing the objectives out of order.
I can't rescue the factory
Because we have to
workers
be
until
here
the
later to
security
rescue
gate
factory
is down.
workers. Come on, now. GameCube controls again. So we do this there. We do this now, so that way it spawns in the next set of enemies. While we're doing that, that there, we don't have to worry about the ships because they don't mean anything on that one. We'll spawn there. Next set will come towards us. So we want to hover over here. Oh yeah, that's right, it's behind us. Actually does have some differences, but it's not. It's more like it has some differences, but not enough to make it different for the leaderboard. Because being able to do that while boosting means I have to claw grip instead of just sliding and pushing buttons at the same time. So.
Try to stay clear of the fight. I'll move you when it's safe again. Hey.
I'll do that there. I'll Fire those missiles there. Now we can go destroy the factory. Well, not destroy, but protect the factory. Soft lock. Nope, got it. Okay, had to catch up on that one for other stuff like that, but it's hard to tell whether or not the game would actually advance it with not advance it, whether or not that was a graphical, audio, or what glitch on that one. Yeah. Anyway, we've got to destroy all these others. Yes, I know, Chase. Let's go on the map. Don't have to worry about any other enemies but the shuttles. So we're gonna turn straight, fire that one there. Fire those there. Bash through this one. So we can get to this enemy ship. Escape a bit. Fire missiles there. Best techniques here. Which is legitimately boosting plus matching all three options at the same time. So we need to take out all the shuttles from that one. That one. Just on that one. Straight there. Cover there. Do this there. Straight on that one. Back there.
That's right. Jack the Giant Killer.
Come on now. Gotta make sure we don't lose this one. One? I don't think so. There it is. Take that out. There's that one done. That. Yeah. Oh God. Give me your prayer emotes in chat right now, everybody. CAT scan. CAT scan and trial by fire are typically two of the worst missions in the game.
Attack! How about some support?
We're gonna keep doing that there to essentially just have protection on the cat's eye here. Because this thing is a pain in... Because Cat's Eye AI is not smart. And you need to take it out and protect it at all costs. This is actually a glorified escort and auto-scroller.
Time to take these
Keep an eye out for everything on that one. And I'm sorry if I'm going to be quiet, but this mission is legitimately a pain. You can still lose this mission with no time left at the clock at the very end of it. So the lucky thing is we only have to worry about the fighter pods imaging the cat's eye. Back there, shoot out his missiles. Back there. You gotta keep up decoys on that one if it's. We're really lucky we can actually take a time or two here and there to do that. Now let's see here. I want to essentially just keep strafing until we see a next thing. They do it. So we want to take it out as fast as we can. Be sure to take out all the stuff on it. Sure that we do not have that cat's eye die. He's taking out. He's legitimately like making sure that dismissive do not hit the. I'm sorry if I'm being quiet here, but dismissive is a pain in the 7, 6. 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. I know I'm behind, but hey, it is what it is. Anyway, trial by fire, we have to now protect the cat's eye as it's re-entering the atmosphere.
Wait a minute.
Luckily, there's still only the fighter pods that actually are the only ones targeting it.
Down to the surface. We'll protect the cat's eye at all costs.
Yes, he's now we want to just quickly keep strafing until we see the. We want to keep putting on the decoys. That one, and just keep an eye out for the ships that we do need to worry about. Firing some missiles at them, destroying their actual, destroying them, dropping missiles on them, keep boosting, dropping decoys on that one as we go forward. Keep dropping there. Whenever we can, we will be dropping a missile set here and there on that. Wow. As I said, we want to just keep protecting the cat's eye as much as we can. Drop there. Then we can afford to actually drop a missile volley at them. Gotta make sure I do not lose track of the cat's eye here because of how annoying it is. That one. By the way, welcome to male power armor. We'll be seeing a lot more of them later on. Okay, don't lose track of the cat's eye. guys there. Got some more deploys because we're gonna need them. Sorry, all. It's the whole fact of just like this part of the game is just like just get it done as fast as you can and just get it done. Hell, you survive. I don't mean that negatively. It's just more the whole fact of just like you've got to keep well on your toes because escort missions.
They should break off the attack. It's a big if. I'm not gonna start celebrating just yet.
Okay, come on. Almost there. That's right. There it is. Almost lost track of it. Got it. Sorry, I've tried to be quiet with that one because I'm having to deal with the PS2 controls versus the other stuff. But hopefully I'm trying to be as entertaining as possible on that one. But again, so annoyed from the GameCube. So goddamn annoyed. Anyway, so we're now having to rescue some hostages. So we'll have to take out those that protect the destroyers. After taking out some of the stuff, we're going to do that there, swap it there, fire it that there, do that with there, multi-targeting where you can. This is where the light missiles really come in handy.
Thanks for the help. We should be able to take it from here.
So we're doing that there. Next enemy setup is over here. We're going to boost towards them while using our missiles. Hover. Big space on that one. There's a sniper in the area over there, so what we're going to do is boost. Take them out first because they deal more damage than anything else. Going to specifically hover and do both, and fire our missiles in both. Fire the missiles as well as our other stuff at the same time. Do that there. Gotta love the actual audio glitches on that one. We gotta rescue prisoners by, well, the hostages via the actual destroying the gate. Then get rid of the guards that show up afterwards. Want to hover here. They can't hit us while we're above them. So we just want to max out all of our missiles and just keep keep damaging them. Now we have to get them back up. Well, back out of there. So, come on, game. First thing we're going to do is switch to this. Swap that there, do that there,
Stop
stay
here,
here.
drivers. There's a sniper
Move there,
in the area.
swap to this.
Wait for me to
Zoom
find
in.
that sniper before
Use the fact that we can do a fully charged shot. Cover here. We gotta take out these anyway.
It's safe.
They take more damage with the sniper rifle than they do normally, so it is a lot more convenient to just do that, so we can take out snipers faster. The next one will spawn right here, so we want to cover multi-target. Turn. There's another one coming, so avoid the damage from it. Cover above. Fire as many missiles as you can. Take it out as fast as possible. Over here. Destroy this gate here, because we have to. So they can continue going. Move right over here, because that's where the next set is. Straight over there. Straight here. Target that one, fire. Go towards it. Launch as many heavy missiles as you can. Not being charged now. Mageius, actual, the sniper's laser. But we can get here. Fire those there. Really, game? Really? You're making me work on the worst version. With all this stuff. With everything else. Anyway,
Stop here, drivers.
shift there,
There's a
straight
sniper
here.
in the area.
Said,
Wait for me to find that sniper before you continue.
get up close to this. Over here. Take that out there.
Let's roll.
Swap over here. Get ready for the next set. I'm not pulling the second sniper just because, honestly, the way the game is being right now. This is really one of those times where you can tell, like, most people can play PS is better. This is one of those times where I could outright say the game's better. We want to just out as much damage as we can. Serious game. Definitely lag too. But you can see just like go there, we'll do that there, we'll move over here, we'll zoom in here, do the gate so we can keep going. Right over here. They cover, so that way they get close. Avoid that. Cover up above them. Also, missiles at them. Stay above them so we don't take as much damage. We don't take as much damage. Avoid the lag. The fact that that's gone now. Move ahead. There's also an Xbox version of this and you can probably play it on the PS3 to avoid lag. Next we want to wait around here for the next set to spawn. Alright, this is that. Dig this way. Hover up here. Starting move to take those out so that the transports can keep moving. Those two. Next set is coming on that one. We're almost down.
Blocked again. I'll have to clear the way for those trucks.
I'll put it there. There's another sniper out here, but we wanna low on health. We wanna avoid getting hit. So stay flat, stay above it. Just unload as much distance as we can. And now there's 2 enemies left. So we want to take them out as they spawn. And normally I'd go in close of that, but still. PS2 version. I've got the GameCube version, but it wanted to act up. Like GameCube decided to act up, so having to use the PS2 version for this. And you start to feel this. Because when you can normally do stuff like boost, plus fire, plus missiles like that fast, it does add up. Now, I need to shut up and take care of this mission because Party Crashers is legitimately one of the worst missions in the game. So say hi to Rick out there. Are you new to the show? You love him. This game, it's a pain for this one. There.
Time to take these
that
guys
there.
to school.
Fly towards this one. Maybe the next set is going to spawn. That one. Fire that there. Fire there. Fire that there. Fire that there. Fire that one there. Straight there. Please, God, no, Rick, don't die. Oh, please. Rick. That's old Rick. Not me. That's old Rick. Dear God, tell me I did not use anything else on that one. I think I hit the wrong thing. Okay, yep. This is getting annoying, and I know I'm sorry all, but... Dear God. I really should divide this up into a separate... to its own leaderboard. For the PS2 version. there. Come on now. Where are you? Take you out. Where can I be? Assassin live. Okay, so part of the mission. Okay. Come on now. Please, I got hit. It. I got that. Right there. Take that out. Now all of a sudden, this 3 male power armors. Yeah, PS2 version is not. For the love of! And you see why I hate this mission. Again, I'd be 10 times further if I was using my GameCube version. Thanks, system. Thanks, GameCube. Deciding to stop working tonight. Yep. This is the type of mission where the game just hates you for it. Let's go for that there. Back there. Yep. Now that there. Equals. Some covering fire on Rick. But apparently I'm gonna have to play this one even more defensive than I normally would. Because when the game says no, the game says no. Do that there. Fire that there, and there. Fire that there. Fire that there. Fire that there. You out there. Here. That out. Drop some equals there. Spin turn there. That there. There, boost towards it. Missiles with that one, like that. Fire like that. Towards it, that will do damage to it while it's running away. That there. No power armor you. Yeah, when they're flying, they really can't snipe as much, so it's a lot easier on that one. Take care of that one. Fire these and just well. Towards it. Back there, fire all those there. That's not there. Not there. Please don't die. 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 Low on health. Lower than I'd like. I'm just gonna play Kid Dot. Dodge and try to make sure I can survive. They can't fire missiles at me. Thank God. Thank God. It's not that I'm not positive with this stuff, it's just legitimately this version is horrible. Kuso, anybody? Or Big Bad Gameathon? Also, say hi to Mid-May. The actual idol of the show, and we want to help. This is fucking bad. This is the only thing. God, they seriously not. Wow. That's actually funny that you kept that line off. That there, that there, that there. Spin turn. Towards it. Have to basically protect May. Come on. The game will let us know when we need to. There we go. But the game didn't tell us. It was basically Rick basically telling Jack to get Min-May to her concert. Jack introducing herself to Jack and then going from there. Okay, for those that have actually seen this run normally, this is the PS2 version, not GameCube. And love of God, you had better be putting the PS2 version on the actual stream layout for this. You had better be doing that, because I do not want the GameCube version sullied on that one. Anyway, we just gotta wait for the next enemies to show up. So we try to position ourselves to where we can basically cover as many enemies as we can. Straight there, straight around there. That there. Down there, that there. That there, straight there. That there, hover over there, because we want to actually pick up. We have to protect the concert hall right now, because we are trying to take it out. I guess you say I'm going so fast that I'm part of the game. How the hell did this stuff get fast? See, I do not know. For testing. It really is a good game, but anyway, Deadly Storm. We have to protect Izzy now from getting shot down. This is essentially a semi-boss fight on that one. Yes, we're going so fast we broke the game. You'll have to put up with it until the start of chapter 4. I'll probably use load time for it, but I'm not sure on that one because I've never really gone out to test it to see if there's actually a difference on that one. But anyway, for this battle, like, Flora here is kind of shoot out busy, so we're going to stop her. Dear God, I seriously want to make sure. Oh God, meme versus no meme. God, the memes or the time save. What do you think, chat? There's very good meme in the next mission, but with the game's audio acting up the way it is, I don't think you'll get to hear it. So what do you think? Should we try to fix the game audio, or should we take the time save? I don't know if it's busting the time loss or not because of that. Like, either way, what do you think? Yes, no, maybe so? Submit a backup file in case stuff like this happens. Anyway, we're taking out right here, protecting Izzy. So shooting down like that. Firing. You don't have to get rid of her completely again, but you need to actually deal enough damage on that one. Sadly, Izzy will still get shot down. Sadly. Fly up here, make sure we can avoid missiles again. Back there. Aim directly for her. Fire down there. Fire there. Fire some more missiles at her. Fire directly there. Move up. Get that way. Get rid of her there. And before the next mission, I'm fixing something. I am going to fix the game's audio, because I need some of my audio cues on that one. Options. Also, normally I would keep the rumble on, but it is annoying me right now. So now that we have that one there, we'll go back to story, we'll go into the order with the graveyard. So we'll be rescuing Izzy on that one, defeating, and hopefully I'll be able to show off some fun, game AI manipulation. So we'll be flying towards here. Firing some shots there. Firing close to her. Back there. Fly over here. Hover here. Back up here. And if I'm lucky, and I've done it correctly, I will have her be hovering in place. Just because I really do need to actually have the audio cues here. Because if the game is still broken, is that going to help? Oh god, it still is broken. Yeah, I can turn off the system and fix that, but we're also in the middle of a speed run here. So I'll deal with the game's audio problem not working. I don't know if I'm losing time or not for it, because it's hard to tell. that there. Over here. That there, fire that there, fire these there. Look at that, over here. What the hell would I do? Normally games AI manipulation is like just stupidly easy for that one. Oh god, the game just decided to die. Straight, put that there. Put those out. For the fact that the game is going to legitimately screw me over, it'd have to take a mission restart. Because the game decided to break on some things. I can do. By Izzy. We're up.
Got to get her out of there.
Thank you. Finally. Going so fast, teams still couldn't keep up. I will finally get it. Just gonna hover here. Hover like right around here. Game will run through because we're not doing any direction on that one. We'll just start very spinning, more or less, on that one. Back. Part of the activity, so I'll take it. Hover, fire the speed matter, fire some of our speed missiles, good missiles. Take those out, fire those there. Hover as much as you can. Scrape some, get of those again there. Fire those there. Scrape a bit more. Fire those there again. Scrape missiles. Say bye. terribly. I want this noted. I told y'all GameCube version was, it's comparable.
Time to take these guys to school. Izzy!
Yay.
Get out of there! Pick on someone your own size.
Who's that? Just gonna have to get actual setup for it. Backup strategy. Maybe I'll take the backup setup. Finally. So what we're doing now here is just, we gotta go stand there on that one. This is actually usually pretty easy to do. Some of the stuff I can do. Casual strat in this game because it's actually so much actual active PS2. Because being over here, they really can't see me as much. And even then, how far behind am I? I don't want to know. You guys are gonna hate me on it, but again. Nothing. Strafe, strafe. Again, I'm having to do a lot of this on a PS2 controller, where the best thing about a game is apart from everything else, working well, you can do a lot more stuff. And I need an adult here because of that comment. I need an adult here. Come on now. Come on, I don't want to die here. Play the game. I'm sorry, y'all. This is horrible. Normally, I would just be able to free button the thing to make it easier. And I think the game also runs slower in the PS2 version. Some form of it. Broken the game a lot already.
Izzy! Got to get her out of there. We got someone your own size.
Great. What a difference a month makes. Because the GameCube version came out a month later. It was a lot faster. And, yeah. Looking out this missile like that. Cover, mask like that. I shouldn't say mask, but there, there. And again, I think we need an adult here. Back there, back there, back there. Back there, back there. Logic. again. Finally get out of this damn thing. Little Mesa Massacre. Okay, so now we have to save Little Mesa. Basically, our friend Hero has asked us to help him out. This will be the first opportunity to show how to get rid of scout pods in a single shot. So first thing we want to do is shift over here, fly up here. Remember that this is not the GameCube version. We have to take them out one shot at a time. Take those out before they send the stress call on that one. And the only real way to one-shot them is to do a fully charged sniper shot. Luckily, they don't notice that their own comrades have basically gone. Now, all that done,
Quit messing around and get over here, Jack.
Hero will basically say that. We have set it up about once that we have to worry.
I've rigged the computer to continue relaying the alert
So
message
we'll
on
do that
the
there.
RDF channel. That should get through.
Take out this actual lander here. The first time you'll actually get to see a drop pod. Won't be the last. So we're going to target all these here. Fly towards that.
Heads up!
Over here. I'll be right up the storm. Just gonna hang out until Hero gets over here. Angle ourselves just so we can actually do what we need to do. And this is a good time for me to take a drink.
That's right. Jack the Giant Killer.
Game. Yay! The game. Not my fault when my greatest technique is legitimately crippled in this game. And I'm not joking when I say that. Being able to legitimately do 4 actions almost simultaneously, it's a pain. That there. That there, swap that there. Get the enemies behind us. That there. That these. Straight from there. That up, that up. That there. We gotta take it out eventually, so we're just gonna do that. Take out that. That out. Just yet. That there. Want to do that there just so that way we can not have anything die just yet. Yay, good. Got the normal thing of that one. And so we're now on to the next mission. Unless we did get it fast enough. Oh, we did. Wow. So what happened there was we killed the enemy faster than the game, wanted us to, because the shelter of Little Mesa has to be destroyed before that one. We managed to destroy it faster than... We managed to destroy the enemies faster than anything else. But that one, so that it, made it a lot... So that way we killed it faster. This is the first setup. Just back up. So I know what I'm doing. You know what I said about getting stuck on enemies? I missed the first shot at it. But it's... to get it when Hero is moving here, but it's not impossible. It's just a pain to set up on a PS2 controller. There we go, for some of it. Now I have to protect the officer here. Got it. Okay, now then. We need to back out and take a different thing. We unlocked our next upgrade with the 1S, which we will be using. Second, I want to check this quickly. Difficulty, yes, it's still on hard. And I want to put that back on. So we first want to take Hidden Agenda. But we want to take that with the 1J. Also, tensions between humans and the Zentradi, who are giants, so that would have been, rising on that one. So the reason we start off with Hidden Agenda is this is a very easy mission to do. Yeah, we broke game audio again. It's not anything negative. It's known to happen. Take those out there. Next, we want to do that there. Where are you? There you are. So we want to hit this one here. We have to take out all these scout pods. Oh God, without knowing that one, I'm going to have to assume. 1, 2, 3. Yep, I got 4 of them. So what the game would be telling us now is that you got 4. There's 4 left. So we're gonna fly over here. Yes, I'm having to do this off of sheer dumb the hell game memory. So we're gonna fly here, hit those, hit that one. The next one is right up here. So we're just flying. We're gonna do that there. Take that one. Chase will basically be telling us, hey, there's one left, so we want to turn to that one there. Charge up a shot. Because the next one is right over here. We're just going to snipe it to finish off the mission fast. Other than having to fly all the way back. So mutiny. Yeah, we gotta protect the shuttle. Prevent the shuttles of the Zentradi that are mutinying on that one that we started working with together. Because after the war, essentially, they started working together. But even before that. So we need to take out these shuttles. We want to save our missiles in there. I can play this sluggishly. Okay, so essentially now we took out all the actual shuttles. The one Zentradi ship is now attacking the other thing. the ARMD down here. Shoutouts to the Macross speedrun because it also the ARMD also existed there. So we want to slowly light our way in here. Go avoid the fire. Switch to Battlecry. God, I hate the PS2. Did I just hit it? Yes, I did. Okay, I'm glad I have a backup file. Shifting something, accidentally hitting that. Sorry, all. Thank God for me actually making sure to have a backup file. Thank God. I need a drink. And I can't drink alcohol on stream. And even then... Oh God, I don't even want to know. How far behind am I? Shit. I'm glad I made a backup file, but that means I need to actually do another mission again. That means I need to do enemy within again. Well, at least the load times are faster. Because I need to unlock something. I'm going to have to do it with the 1A because of the only saving for the level select code. But I can still do it with this and just unlock the 1S that way. Which should actually suffice enough for it. Oh crap, wait a minute. That's the only drawback to that. Also, this is what we were trying to do last time. Yes, I am legitimately stuck on the menu. So we took care of that. We got our 1S. Oh God, this is... Oh God. So, here's the question. No. Passing quickly. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Here's a question, and I need y'all to think about this. Oh, God. Yeah, if it's going to be a complete run, it's going to be a complete run. This is already a dumpster fire anyway, so I'm going to have to do this like this, then go back and skip hidden agenda. This is already a dumpster fire, as much as it is. How far behind am I? Oh God! The thing is I can't skip. In order for it to be a full complete run, I can't skip missions despite having to use my backup save file, which would let me use the to basically continue onward onto that. So I've still got to complete the missions. Oh no, wait, I'm wrong. It's been a while since I've had to actually use my backup file. Yeah, I'm wrong. It will. Said it's been a while since I've had to use my backup file. And I'll have to do it with the 1S. Don't like it, but I'll have to do it with the 1S. This is going to be very, very possibly over time. That there.
I want some too.
One more.
Great, one more to go.
Thank y'all ahead of time. PS2 version is a thing.
Well done, Wolf.
Okay, now
It's a
I'm going to
mutiny.
take this easy.
Renegades
Not
and
easy,
Trotty
but
are
I'm going
turning
to
their
take
turrets
this
on the
cautiously
ARMG. Take out those
because
turrets
of how
before
this
the
game has
ARMG is
been right now.
destroyed.
So I don't want to die. Because again, we break the game. We're going so fast the game can't keep up. Up here, and that there. Come on, come on, come on, let me survive here. Let me survive here. Thank you. Thank you. Going so fast, the game can't keep up. Now then, we need to go back out because we just unlocked Super Veritex. I like showing these off. Yeah, y'all can complain for me wanting to show off one of the coolest things we get to unlock. That's fun. It's very fun. Armor on that one. Not that one. Yeah, so let's do that one. Actually, should I show Mutiny or Hidden Agenda? Mutiny works. Besides, this is probably the places I'll get to actually using something equivalent to the actual speed of the GameCube version. So we'll do that there, do that there. By the way, what do you think, chat? Throwing this in a bad game marathon? No. This is actually a good version of it.
Come back when you have some skills.
Take that there, take that there, do that there.
Well done, Wolf 10. Great, one
So
more
now
to
we
go.
just need to fly
It's a
away.
mutiny. Renegades and Trotty are turning their turrets on the
ARMG.
ARMG. Take out those turrets before
Fly
the
around this way.
ARMG is destroyed.
See, this gives us a lot of interesting things, a lot of useful things. Yeah. But it gives us extra health, gives us a lot of other stuff like that. Sadly, we can't use this in the normal actual speed run because it's only good for space missions, and there's not that many space missions. But I always like showing them off because they're good. It's fun. So it's sad that we can't really do that. So let's get back to our normal missions. Oh yeah, it does let me skip the backlash, doesn't it? I'm already behind time. So I'm going to just roll with this. Oh, that one. What do you know? We got Super Veritex. Thought these were for space missions only. Well,
That's right. Jack,
apparently we got something new to see, chat. Something never before seen. No seriously, in all fairness, what it is the developers did not... Developers made Super Veritex only available for... You know, only for the stuff... Basically, the developers only made Super Veritex to be done in space, but they forgot to code it to remove them if you continue onward from being a space mission. So completing a space mission lets us continue onward with them. Now this is no longer definitely not going to be set to the leaderboard, but especially since I have that's skipping 2 missions. But I'll have to, in order to be able to actually use this, I need to be able to continue from a space mission. And the closest space mission I'll add from that felt repeating things would be all the way back in Chapter 3. Now I could have actually turned off the code on that one, but it's complicated with the way the game works with certain things. Let alone the PS2 version. Especially because it's just like using the backup with the all stages unlocked code. You can start a stage on that one, and it's weird on how it will choose to unlock things. It really is weird. Anyway, we gotta destroy all these shuttles. It's because basically we got information from an informant, which is one of the missions that I will have to go back and beat later on without supers. Yeah, well, maybe they'll let me. Maybe they'll cut me a break. Check out this one. Anyway, we gotta check out all these shuttles. Game feels like it's in slow motion compared to the version. So let's go. One nice thing is even if I lose health all the way, I still have the extra stuff. Okay, where's the last one? Here it is. I'm saying that because honestly, the game, again, does like to be materials for some kids. There. Okay, there we go for that one there. Lightning Strike. Still one of my favorite missions, just because, honestly, the first time I ever did a speedrun of this game, it took me 20 minutes. And then I proceeded to, right after the fact, figure out exactly how to never have that happen again. So let's come up with an amazing strategy for this stage. So we're going to fly all the way here. We've got to destroy 3 objectives here. Take that out. That. We're gonna fly all the way over here for our first objective, which is to pick up some supplies.
There's one of the munitions crates.
Then we'll use this to take out the enemies as fast as we can. I shouldn't say that, but use as many resources as we can. In the Battlecry, zoom in, snipe out all these because they're very small, and technically you can use Guardian missiles on them, the Guardian modes missiles on them, or even fighter stuff. It's just you have to be very stupidly precise. And cast, it would look insane, but RTA? No, where's the last one? Did I miss one? I'm betting I missed one. The one? Nope. Good to know. PS2 version does not have the audio cue to switch up the game music for when it actually is done. So we're going to wait here. Multi-target these, because we have to get rid of these liquid pods. We're going to do that there, do that there, do that there. Fire that there, fire there.
Entry pods in sight.
So we have 2 pods for that one. With all these.
Time to take these guys to school.
Avoid that there. Yeah. Remember, this is the reason why. Remember, it's things like this that why I say, please, for the love of God, let me ever get into a actual marathon that's IRL, just so I can actually showcase that I actually have skill.
Meant to do that.
We gotta take out the shuttles,
Mission
and then there we go. Nutshell pass. I still have 4 stages to do, but honestly, chat, what do you think? Try to showcase the run the best I can on hard mode, but the PS2 version is... God. Anyway, what we want to do here is we want to transform here, target the nearest of these male power armors. Hover here. That's as many as you can. Dig that out there, fly towards the next one. Now, without this, there's a whole bunch of different ways to take them out. But we want to take out those there. We want to slowly come towards here. But anyway, there's 4 of them that we need to take out. So we're going to wait here, take this out here. Over here, just get our missiles back, because apparently the rate of fire is still slightly different on that one. Another targeting for that one there. That there. That there. This one here. Fire towards it. Use heavy missiles on that one there. The fact that we can sniper rifle them to get rid of that faster. Now here's where I'd say without these supers we'd be using a lot of sniper rifle shots and other stuff like that, and that actually still is there. The hint, sort of the defense force. Anyway, this is another boss fight where we have a boss, where we have the commander of those troops. Anyway, just like the originals, they love to use the sniper rifles, so what we're going to do is we'll go to one of these spots, and essentially what we're doing is taking away one of his spots, so that he will immediately go towards the other spots, and using our missiles to essentially deal a lot of damage. We'll fly towards it, taking damage, aiming perfectly at, so we can just go keep up a rapid fire amount of damage. Strafe a little bit, avoid the sniper fire that we do. Just slowing down that way, just slowly ease towards him. That there, that there, that there. Again, use the fact of taking away one of his spots. Firelight axe. Do that there. Oh god, I can clearly tell that this is nowhere near as fast as the cube version. Oh hey, this is a theory I had for a while now. 10% faster. Take him out. So now that we have that, I don't even want to see what Discord is saying. How bad are you guys yelling at me? Anyway, cat and mouse. Last of the second to the last of the actual Cat's Eye missions. This time, at least our friend Izzy is piloting it, so we have a competent pilot. Is slower, and honestly enough, I can't do half the combos I'd love to do.
Come back when you have some skills.
See, ideally, I would be strafing a lot more, because strafing a lot more, combining speed with missiles plus rapid fire while doing that. So yeah, there is a skill set to this game. Anyway, now
I'm reading several enemy readings ahead. Fly
now we
ahead
can
and
fly
check them
ahead,
out.
do that there. Do that there, target those. Fly ahead, use Guardian mode to actually take out the enemies. Fire the missiles there. Do that there, swap over here. Wait for Izzy to come a bit closer so that way we do not spawn an extra set of enemies, which will happen if I go too far. And then later on it will also drain her health almost completely. Then spawn 2 extra enemies right behind her if I go too far ahead. Gotta love what the game wants to be cruel. So we need to go through this. There, not there.
That's right.
Now they're balanced, actually going ahead and getting rid of these against Izzy having enemies spawn against her.
Next time, try aiming.
So we're gonna fly this way, go back and help Izzy.
All right.
Take those out, swap over here. Go like that. And again, my marathon luck. Never say that it's not this bad. Please, don't ever. We can chalk this up to even more stuff. Really? That only happens if I actually move further away from it. No. technically, no matter what happens, I'll have world record on PS2, the PS2 version, hard mode, because no one really runs hard mode on PS2. So hey, woohoo! Free world record, technically. And normally this is where I would just legitimately just like doing stuff like this. Reduce lag. Go to this one. See, we were headed out with the cat's eye to go rescue our friend Hero, who, you know, basically went out there. We're doing this against orders. So we are, you know, going to go rescue Hero. We're gonna fly towards him. So I think they actually have some of this. So we're over here rescuing Hero on that one. First things we want to do is immediately turn around.
I've got a better idea.
Take out the enemies
How
there.
about I fight off these Centrati, and when we get back
Use
to
cover.
base, you can tell
Use Guardian
the
hover mode.
Mageius that I deserve a medal instead of a court-martial.
I hate to interrupt, but the radar is picking up enemy units surrounding your position, and they're starting to move in. We have to get out of there now.
Once I'm actually having this. Bastards are good shit. Our system are still alive. The hatch was shot. I'm not going.
I don't know what the hell happened there. Yes, we broke the game again. Told you, we go so fast that we break the game. He's someone clipped the whole fact of just like all the different actual things that were going on with that tech, you know, actual game audio wise. Sadly, they were trying to for the N64. That's one of the ones that got canceled. They did try. So now that we've got everything on that one, again, no audio cue to let me know, but rescue Hero. Now we're gonna fly back with that one. You see why I prefer the GameCube version. I think it's just more of a. By the way, since I know you like Uso stuff, what do you think? PS2 version? I mean, the GameCube version's amazing. Just watch some of my clips on my channel. That's twitch.tv/Mageius1. Everyone. I'll be working on reading a few speed runs tomorrow as well. Well, to be more precise, working on Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes, because like a few things. Anyway, we just rescued Hero. So, Defiance, we now have us versus basically a lot of enemy targets, just like, God, what is it? The, earlier mission from Chapter 2. Deadly Skies? I forget what it's called off the top of my head. Anyway, we gotta take out all these enemy ships. But this time, we have an ungodly amount of firepower. That there, that there, that there, that there. there. That there. This there. And again, am I cursed with marathons on mine? I think I'm cursed. I think this officially showcases I'm cursed when it comes to my marathons.
Cyclops. Commander, something tells me the Zentradi were expecting us.
So we gotta go here, that there, and there.
Cyclops. Commander, something tells me the Zentradi were expecting us.
We should be nearing the crash site. We're reading lots of hostile enemies in the area. We're going to have to destroy them all so the sea sergeants will have a clear path.
What? Oh, we're talking about the next mission, I think. Yeah. Yeah, it's the GameCube version's a hell of a lot better. But what we're gonna do is take out these male power armors. So we ease them down. We have 3 more to go. That there. That there. We're going to go from there. Take out these. That there. I swear the game legitimately feels slower on the PS2 version. I swear it feels slower. There we go. For that one there. So now we have to rescue. We have to basically get some supplies back to the base so they can actually take them. So the sea sources that can come can actually collect them. That one. So first things first, we want to fly over here, do that there. Fly out, drop a lot of decoys. Grab that.
Meant to do that.
And I normally do not like to do this, but again, the way I normally do this game. I'll let it touch here. By the way, in the future, see what I mean about there's a huge difference in just how the game is. Yep, did actually read that one because sometimes going too far, it won't. So next one is right over here. We gotta get these supplies back. Deal with the way this controller actually was mapped. Shift should not be, strafe should not be on the actual R2 and L2 buttons. They should be R1 and L1. Especially if you're going to give me, like, multiple targeting things. Yeah, I get it. You want to put that there. But no. There's 2 of them. Down 2 to go. back way. That one. No, actually a bit safer on that one. I'm gonna go back, but it worked out. Because as soon as we get the supplies back, the timer will get close to when the sea sergeants get there. So, yeah, it's not auto scroller. It's one of those like it's not true auto scroll, but it sort of is, sort of isn't. That is deal with that one. And also deal with the small details about it.
Next time, try aiming.
Again, I'm used to legitimately using the GameCube version, and there is a huge difference. This is coming from someone that legitimately does know this game inside and out. I know what I'm doing, it's just ass. So having to remember, so having to actually think of everything else, then process it with a different control scheme that I'm usually used to using. So it is a pain. An absolute utter pain, to be honest. Ugh. In the arse. Don't you all agree? Normally I would just be able to transform, hold A for the boost, be able to transform, do that, grab that, transform back with a single thing, you know, but GameCube versus PS2 setup for button position. One left. Because being able to essentially just hold A while being able to just mash quickly to get the thing instead of having to hold this or this to do the grabs versus a unless it's on the way back anyway. Instead of having the ability to just go this plus this. You know, where I can just go boop instead of having to legitimately offhand both things.
Good. Make sure that sea sergeant gets out of there in one piece.
Yeah, Chase, I know. We gotta straight to that one, do that there. Get that out. Fire some stuff there. So we just gotta wait for them to get here. Yep. Guardian mode. again. I hate that I'm cursed for some things. I have my actual GameCube on right now, just that way. Hopefully, once this is all over, I'm planning to see if it'll actually work. If it works, I'm going to scream bloody murder. They're putting us all through having to show off the PS2 version.
Come back when you have some skills.
I want a huge note on this, that having to deal with the worst of the two versions. And that, again, I'm cursed when it comes to these things.
Help! We're taking damage.
Come on now. Come on. Yeah. GameCube version actually has decent setup for the controls, despite the D-pad being transformation buttons.
Moving it.
Got it for that one. So we're on to chapter 5. Besieged. 4 minutes, 44 seconds. We have to protect the base for 4 minutes, 45 seconds. I've timed this out. Essentially, just want to once you do is take out as many enemies as you can. Space on that one. Space again on that one. What you eventually want to do is just have the destroyers here. Yes, that's what they're called. Help with taking out some of the entry pods that will show up. So we can just chill out
Reentry pods.
and be able to protect them while allowing us to just go minimize how many enemies will show up. So the first few times you'll see me actually trying to manage stuff like that one.
Time to take these guys to scope.
Got that one there, that there. Go up to that. If you can't afford to, you're actually targeting the correct thing I want.
We need help.
Yeah, I know. Well, this whole game needs help. This whole version of the game needs help. Take that out. Put that there. Fire that. Come on. Got some more decoys so we can avoid the enemies. So we can help get rid of the missiles. We want to get rid of these because them standing at the foot of the destroyers will not help. So we got to get rid of them. Destroy that. Destroy that. Really,
When you have some skills.
this game's AI version of the game. Oh yeah, it's the same. Alright.
Thought so too.
And yet not. Let's go for that there. down. That there. See that there. See that there. Cover that there. Fire that down. Fire some missiles that way. Slowly take that down. Take that down again.
Where are you, Wolf-Ten?
Yeah, I'm right here. I have another set of decoys here. Another set there. You out there. You out there. Fire that there. Come on now. Let's take you out.
Under heavy fire.
Yeah, I know you are. I know you are, game. I know you are. You out there. Come on now. Thank you. Good, I was getting worried that the game would have frozen. Breathe, mage, breathe. Anyway, we gotta finally destroy Kiora that one, so we're gonna first start off here. Like this over here. Twist over here. Turn, fly towards this. Turn. Guardian mode here. That's all of our missiles towards her. Cover, fire, cover. Cover, fire, cover, fire. Guardian mode again. Down some stuff again. That there. Let's get our gun back. Some sleeping. The missiles, and luckily for us, we got the actual enemy AI manipulation. Maintaining it like a PS2 controller is a pain. This and I have to break it off because damn it all. Trying to three-finger the damn thing. And yes, I know that sounds horrible. When you're trying to boost fire shots and then shove missiles at the same time while strafing, it is a pain. Damn it! Come on, game. Be nice to me. Let's let all these fine people actually see how fun of a game you are.
It's not love you're feeling, Kimura. We Micronians call that synapses.
How have I never heard some of this dialogue? Oh, I think I know. Because the game is playing the wrong audio. Again, we're going so fast we break the game. Let's go. So we want to go this way, switch, straight. Fire that, strafe a bit more. Switch again. Missiles there. Just like somewhat maintaining the actual AI manipulation with this. Somehow. Put and turn and fire. Do that there. Do that there. Turn, fire, basically in place. And fire again. By turn, I mean legitimately turn into fighter and fire on that one. There. Thank you. Because when you can't literally legitimately do a fire, that, boost, transform, all with literally like almost all in like one go. This doesn't demonstrate how good a GameCube controller is sometimes. I don't know what will.
I meant to do that.
Now we just need to take out some karate officers trying to escape. Also story update. Basically, the actual wilderness areas of what's left of Earth, because guarding it, essentially have become a little dangerous. This is towards the end of the actual show, of the first part of the show on that one. So we want to eye this way. Take out this officer spot. Take it out. Walk away. I mean, we could wait till the end, but when all the others are. But since we could take it out along the way, it's just more. Oh God, what's the word? This is more optimal. I can't think tonight. Crying out loud. Basically, it's more optimal for us to do that there than to actually try for anything else later on. Now we can just keep going here. Try to avoid that one. Because we don't have to care about anything else other than that one.
The shuttles look ready to launch.
Stays there. Pick up those. That's there. Want to pick up the command pods so you don't have to deal with them as much. This game is driving me insane for a PS2 controller. Yes, and I can do that. You guys have seen me play this. Ugh.
I meant to do that.
Yes, sure you did. This is more the whole fact that I've just tried to have a cheerful smile on my face, knowing that I'm basically annoying everybody else, marathon-wise, trying to make sure that basically this insanity is cool. And that, honestly, in the future, that I could still be invited back for other marathons. It's not my fault. It's not my fault my GameCube decided to act up. And this... Come on, dude. Yeah. It's not my fault. My GameCube decided to act up. And this game is a pain on the PS2. I said it was comparable. You guys gave me the okay. I told you I'd try to do the best I could, but load times and a lot more. I may own a copy of it, but running it, and it's more the whole fact of GameCube controller better for running this game. Because when you can legitimately do like 3 to 4 things at one go.
Shuttles look ready to launch.
What we're gonna do is take out all these enemies here. Straight and quick. Take them out. Take out the enemies that are spawning here first. So that way I'm having to actually rewrite my strategies on the fly, considering that I cannot do some of the tech that I would prefer to do with this.
Time to take these guys to school.
Take out you. Take out you. See, because we took out the one opposite spot along the way, we don't have to worry as much for having to deal with 3 of these. We only have to worry about 2 of them. More bots in chat. Anyway, what we gotta do here is take out all these pods here. Basically, the SDF-1 has been destroyed, if you've seen the show. This is after episode, 36? But, anyway, Zral, who is the, who is supposed to be, and is, I believe, in the books, Chiron's left hand, or something like that, is one of the other commanders. Anyway, we need to basically avoid everything here. We got 5 minutes before they reach the base. Take out as many of these actual re-entry pods as possible, so we have to take out, the game says 8 of them, but, and we have Izzy helping us on that one, but, so we want to avoid everything like that, boost as fast as we can, get to the stuff, that one. Take out this one here. So we're gonna fly low. Sorry, Izzy, can't help you. Gonna boost while firing our shots. And literally do this. Honestly, I don't mind them in chat because they, at least for me, because they actually count as viewers. That's for myself because I don't really have anybody on that one in Twitch, and I am not a patron. Sorry, not patron. Not not affiliate or not, you know, partner. So what we want to do here, welcome to Zed City, we have to basically survive a huge gauntlet fight. This is when you'll start seeing me actually do some more crazy tech, like off-site sniper shots. And, just right there, next to there. So like this tiny thing here, that has a hitbox. Just like we had all the other stuff. So, you gotta take this here, there. Gotta go here. Wanna slide over here. You have to be very cautious on this mission because there's a lot of snipers here. So we wanna slide here, take that, go to that one. Slowly hover. And I'm now screwed. Well, not so much screwed, but health-wise. Yeah. Let's say that didn't happen. Let's call that RNG manipulation. Let's call this RNG manipulation. Let's call that RNG manipulation. So we're gonna slide through here, do this. Slowly dodge here. Do that there. Off target this. As you can start to see, like how that is, like that's how much damage I can take from sniper fire, and that's even with the super Battlecry armor. It's essentially close to like 4 to 5 shots, and you're dead. And that's with and without. It's like for some reason it's about the same. Anyway, if you're wondering why I'm taking out all these enemies instead of just going straight for the ball, straight for the objective, it's because partway through, Chase will give us an order after saving some people to go and destroy everything. So we want to go like this, over like that, do that there.
Next time, try aiming.
Take out that there. Swoop over here. Lucky me, it actually gave me the, lucky me, it actually targeted it before then. So we want to wait here, get our missiles back. So what we're going to do is fire around the corner, drop down as much damage as we can. Know the fact that there is another one that spawns soon. But we're going to take this out. Beat the hit. Despite not wanting to, but beat the hit. Hover over it. Again. Some quick strafes with that one. Avoid that. There. Fly over here. Do that there.
Meant to do that.
Take the damage where we can.
The giant killer.
Now, what we can do here is take out this one ahead of time because, oddly enough, we still have the ability to hit them. They can't hit us or see us. As you can clearly see, just with how that melted their health. Anyway, as I said, over here,
Orders, Wolf 10.
we have to rescue these people now. So we have to do this. There's 3 of them. And if the game does not, if the game still provides actual information to us, you'll know why the heck. Oh god, it won't. Oh god, please tell me this is going to work. Yes, it will. So, what the game doesn't tell us right now is that to go in and destroy the rest of them. So we want to take it slowly. you sort of don't have to take it slowly, but in this case, gotta go fast. And essentially, want to do that there. Again, we're going so fast that we're breaking the game. Take out this. Want to hide out from them. Just basically drop down. Now, they really can't see us right now, but we need to be able to take them out. And it's just safer. It's not only that, but it's also optimal. That one there. Now we want to, since there is a sniper there, we want to essentially try not to have that happen. Okay, so I can survive one hit. But now I can still make it though. So we want to charge this up, do that there. By one hit I mean sniper shot. Again, we're going so fast, we're breaking the game. So essentially we want to use some cover on that one. Was one of the old GameFAQs users that posted ages ago, called it Smart Bombs. So we're gonna snipe this, because I don't feel like going with that. Being just about enough so we can shoot them. There, so they can't see us because we're low on health. Yes, I am deliberately shooting this. It should be good enough. Yep, just had to get that perfect hurt box. There we go. And there's another one right here. I'm taking care of these this way because of health reasons in the game. As I said, we're going so fast we're breaking the game. This, fire goes there, that there. Fire goes there, straight there, there, and we're just about there. So to the death, the final mission of the run. Sans going back and actually doing the 4 that I had to skip because of having to load up my backup save. Let's just pretend those didn't happen, shall we? Because 2 of them are auto-scrollers and at least 10 plus minutes extra. And I think our restream must go to bed. Anyway, Joel basically decides to warp the carrier that he managed to get, the actual ship he managed to get working into space because it's the, if I go down, I'm taking you with me moments. And so we're now out in space around Saturn. As you can see right there. So now we have basically, we're gonna die, basically. But it's we're still gonna take them down on that one. And you may think, oh wow, kill off a you know, usual thing, stuff like that. But no, again, before they reset stuff on that one, in the original comics, Jack, I believe, does come back. So, you know, it's one of those things like Grid Space, managing to come back or something like that. I don't know how. I haven't ever read the comics on it, but I'm assuming there's the same way you can have a, you know, anime logic, basically. Anime logic. Anyway, we want to use the Battleoid's actual auto-targeting to help us find Zerall, because through the actual battle in space, so I'll do that there, target that way, turn that way, fly over here, turn down that, to there. Not enough because of how fast we are. We'll actually overshoot Zerall more than we could. Do that there, turn like that. You know, line up for that one. There. Normally, you'd want to actually get him to shoot towards us. And I'm still trying to do some of that. But, again, yes, we can follow. And I'm not saying that negatively, it's just, we don't even get to hear his witty banter present. But no, we're going to fire those there, let him come towards us. Drill the hits. Turn, transform, hit. Turn, transform, and fire our missiles. Fire our missiles again. Fire that again. Fire those again. Wait as much as we can on that one. Fire them again. Aim for that one. Have him try to come towards us. Since the way the game's AI works here, he tries to come towards us as much as we do. So we want to try to have him like head towards us head on. But as he's passing, fire missiles so that way they will actually, you know, have a better shot of hitting them. So we want to basically try to draw their fire towards us so we can, you know, hit them like that. So as they're turning around to try to hit us, we can hit them right into our missiles, into a set of missiles. That there, fire those there, avoid his, fire that there, dodge his, laser,
You fight like a truck.
back there, turn there, fire that there, just that one there so we avoid his laser, there, fire up there, swap there, engage there, just towards him. Fire missiles like that. As I said, one of the tech is to legitimately fire and while firing, so we have access to a bit more variety of rates of our missiles. We want to keep him just like taking damage as fast as we can, while avoiding his laser. So normally time would be coming up if I choose to not go back to stag those levels, so I'd go to just call it with time.
Now, you know the whole story. Or at least.
As the remaining 4 levels that I did not do, 2 of them being auto-scrollers, and the other 2 are just like a bit of time, but I figured cut you all some slack on that one.
Maybe even made a
It's
difference
what?
in their lives.
12:31?
The oxygen's too
Also,
thin for me to
salute a
talk
fallen hero.
anymore. I guess it's a good time to go. The future's looking so bright.
Wow. 30 minutes, over 40 minutes behind estimate. And I am sorry for all that hell. Because again, I'm going to find out what the hell happened with my GameCube. I don't know if they want me to keep that one. I know. But I'm serious. The simple fact of being able to actually go with, like, boost, fire, and the ability to fire missiles at the same time by literally thumb all three of those inputs versus boost, fire, missiles, and decoys like that. 3 fingers versus 1. What do you think is going to be faster? Having to go this, decoys there, or if you all can't see it, boost, missile, fire, and decoys and stuff like that, all in the single 2-finger option, and transforming here. I wonder, which is faster? On top of the system, feeling sluggish on that one. Yeah, but I did what I could. And I still got to show off the game. Well, sans the last 4 stages. Well, the stages on that one. Because, let's put it this way. Goodbye, Greystone. Standard mission on that one, narrow escape, full auto-scroller, learning bridges, full auto-scroller, and this, having to get to other stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm not going to go back on that one, because it's already on that one. So let me know what you got. Hopefully y'all get to have some more fun on that one. And, as I said, there's a good version of it out there. There's a good version of the game out there. And this just goes to show you how much 1 month of dev time can make. So remember, don't complain about a game coming out late or being shoved back. 1 month changed this, changed a lot of the bugs in this to be gone. 1 month.